The single biggest source of food waste in our supply chains is on farm levels. Now, we've heard about the food waste in developing world countries as a result of a lack of infrastructure. We have roughly the same percentage of food waste on the farms supplying our shops and restaurants, not because of a lack of agricultural infrastructure, but because, again, of the buying policies of the supermarkets. This is the waste of bananas after one day of harvest on one plantation in Ecuador. I visited it in 2012, or maybe it was 2011, as part of a documentary that I made for Canal Plus. Now, all of those bananas are fit for consumption. They just fail to meet the specific criteria, cosmetic standards laid down by, in this case, it was Carrefour that they were boxing for on this day. They're too long or too short or too thin, or there's a tiny skin blemish, or the bunches aren't big enough. All of those reasons are reasons to discard. Now, the farmers are obviously try to find local markets for these reject bananas. They export to other nearby countries, but in fact, the quantity of surplus of rejects is so large that the local markets simply can't absorb it. And in fact, Ecuadorians don't really eat the kind of banana that we eat in Europe. And so the very best solution that people can find very often is to feed them to cattle. But often, they're just left to rot. That's, again, a colossal waste of the land and other resources that went into growing those bananas. I mean, we use a huge amount of agrochemicals to grow bananas. We chop down forests to clear land to grow more bananas. And at the moment, every day, when we go in and buy bananas, if we're buying from a supermarket shelf and all the bananas look the same, we are paying for this. It strikes me as obvious that we need to start asking questions when we part with our money. We wouldn't pay somebody to go and beat a granny over the head, steal her wallet and give us something. At the moment, we are paying supermarkets to exploit the world's resources without asking questions. And it's my belief if we ask those questions, and we ask them loud enough, they will listen and they will change. If we go in and we say, why do all your bananas look the same? They didn't grow like that. What have you done with your rejects? Or if we find a local market that is actually selling some of those reject bananas, some of those beginning to go black bananas or bananas that have come separated from their bunch, we're contributing to the kind of solution that we're talking about. And indeed, again, a positive story. Since we launched a campaign on ugly fruit and vegetables in Britain in 2009, it sounds funny, it does. Since that date, the fastest growing sector in the fresh produce market in the United Kingdom is ugly fruit and vegetables. And last year alone, 300,000 tonnes of produce from UK farms alone, so not including all these import, just from UK farms, was sold through various channels, both the supermarkets but also through farmers' markets, through veg box schemes specialising in ugly fruit and vegetables. It's become cool to look for ugly fruit and vegetables, to celebrate the variety of shapes and sizes that nature, we come in different shapes and sizes. So do fruit and vegetables. And that has really begun to change the market. And again, we're beginning to see that exported across the world.